And hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 2 of our radio show entitled A Millennium of Films, where we go over the entire history of film, cinema, and everything to do with Hollywood throughout the 1920s to 1990s. I'm Seth Wills, and I'm here with my co-host, Seth Shipley.
Yeah, g'day folks, how you doing?
And today in episode 2, we'll be going over the 1940s, 50s, and 1960s. So just like last episode, we've got a quiz to kick things off to get the tone settled. So Seth's gonna take this one away.
Alrighty, keep 5, delete 5. 40s, 50s, and 60s films.
Okay.
The first film, keep or delete,
Yeah.
Singing in the Rain.
Oh, easy keep. What the hell? What kind of question is that? Okay, yeah, keep.
The Sound of Music.
So you've got 10 films here?
10.
I've got to keep Sound of Music as well, actually. I was considering deleting it, but I mean, it's so essential.
Yeah, that's fair,
Best picture winner and everything.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh, okay, I haven't actually seen it, but I really want to.
So you're gonna gotta keep it. You're gotta keep it to see it.
I know. I mean, I'm not too much of a Western fan. I know it's like so acclaimed and everything, but I've already got 2 keeps. I think I'm gonna delete it.
After this, Psycho.
Oh. Yeah, that's another keep. Oh.
Using all your keeps very early, my friend.
I know.
Very early. Far out. Mary Poppins.
That's another classic, obviously, but I'll delete that one.
Yeah,
It's not one I go back to too often.
I'd be happy to part with that one.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously really good, but
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay, keep. What kind of question is that?
All right, you have.
In my mind, the greatest film of all time.
You have 1 keep left.
And how many deletes? 3.
3, yep.
Okay.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Again, like obviously it's amazing. I have actually seen this one. It's amazing. Obviously the music is incredible and like some of those visuals are just stunning. But I haven't seen it since I first watched it like 3-4 years ago. It's not one of my favorites. Again, I'm not too much of a Western fan. I'm okay with deleting it, in all honesty. I might get some backlash for that one, but it's okay.
Yeah, you get some backlash with me for that one. So you're deleting The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
It's going to hurt to lose that music, though.
Yeah, one of the most iconic bloody soundtracks.
I know.
Doctor Strangelove.
Another Kubrick film.
It's his worst, but it's...
I could definitely see it being his worst, in my opinion. I mean, it's really good, but I think his style of humor for me is just a bit outdated.
Yeah.
It's not something that I personally find too funny.
To be
But
fair,
I
that's
mean,
probably 'cause
obviously it
it
is
was
like
made in the
Kubrick
50s.
and he works his magic, but yeah, I can delete that one.
Yeah. All right, you'll probably get backlash. You delete this one. Bambi.
Bambi, that's a curveball.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like it's a classic film, but I can again delete that one.
Delete it. Wowzers.
I've seen it a couple times. I don't think I need to see it again.
All right, and you're
There are many
automatic.
other Disney films from that era that I go back to before Bambi.
I don't know how you're going to feel about this one because I've never actually heard you talk about it.
Okay.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, okay. I have actually seen that. I watched it like a couple of years ago, I think, with my mum and sister. I probably would have kept The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly over it, but I'm still pretty happy with that list. That's a solid list, actually. I'm kind of happy with that. So, thank you for that quiz there, Seth. Should we get into the meat of the topic?
The meat. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so where do you want to start off? There's not too much to say about the 1940s, I think. I mean, last episode we obviously covered Hollywood's transition from silent films to talkies, and then towards the end of the 1930s, we saw Technicolor be used, so color in film was introduced. But I mean, yeah, for the early parts of the 1940s at least, the majority of films were still in black and white. I mean, there were the odd few that were the were in color, but just due to the high cost of having films in color, they were just primarily black and white. And especially going back to like the cost of things, due to like lots of national money going into the war effort and recovering from the war, as obviously World War II was obviously the 1940s, obviously a bit of 1930s as well, but primarily 1940s. But a lot of the money was going to the war effort, so films had to stray from like the high budget sci-fi and fantasies and horrors that you saw in the 30s into more personal and character-driven films, which you can definitely see in, you know, all the ones that we remember the 40s for today, like Casablanca, Citizen Kane, and like It's a Wonderful Life. Obviously, those are films that are about the people before the plot, I would say. Have you seen any of those, Seth?
Not a lot, really.
Okay.
Yeah,
That might have to be something that's on your watch list for future.
Yeah, I haven't really
like
watched
3 classics.
I haven't really watched those older films. Yeah, I wanna watch those older films.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah. Hold on.
Holding. Yeah, just while we are waiting, I'd just love to say that this takes a lot of effort to do. So we will be putting some music in, we'll be putting some ads in, we'll be supporting our local area. And I think right now is probably a perfect time to go into a music break. Give me a moment.
I am ready to continue on, but if you want to switch into that,
I think we should. We'll go into a music break. We'll be back in 2. We'll play you one song, and let's hope y'all like it. We're gonna play a really, really fun song that has been big, and it's kind of around the time where this artist was born, and that is "Without Me" by Eminem.
2 trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. 2 trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
I've created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want Shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of me mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. Hey! You waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me. So come on and dip, bum on your lips, jump back, jiggle a hip and wiggle a bit and get ready, cause this is about to get heavy. I just settled all my lawsuits. You did it. Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. Little hellions, kids feeling rebellious, embarrassed, the parents still listen to Elvis. They start feeling like prisoners helpless, till someone comes along on a mission and yells. A visionary, vision is scary, can start a revolution, polluting the airwaves, a rebel. So just let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my and it's a disaster, such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my you ask for me. Well, I'm back, fix your minutes and I'm tuning in and I'm gonna enter in and up under your skin like a splinter. The center of attention, back for the winner, I'm interesting. The best things in wrestling, investing in your kids' ears and nesting. Testing, attention please. Feel the tension, soon as someone mentions me. Here's my 10 cents, my 2 cents is free. A nuisance, who sent? You sent for me? Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. A tisket, a tasket, I go tit for tat with anybody who's talking this and that shit. Chris Kirkpatrick 6-year-old boy-headed stand. You don't know me, you're too old, let go, it's over. Nobody listen to techno, now let's go. Just give me the signal, I'll be there with a whole list full of new insults. I've been dope, suspenseful with a pencil ever since Prince turned himself into a symbol. But sometimes, man, it just seems everybody only wants to discuss me. So this must mean I'm disgusting. But it's just me, I'm just obscene. No, I'm not the first king of controversy. I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley to do black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Hey, there's a concept that works. 20 million other white rappers emerge, but no matter how many fish in the sea, it'll be so empty without me. Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
Was talking about it before. You want to take us away, Seth Walls?
For sure. Thank you for that, Seth.
Of course. Hope you all enjoyed that song.
Can't go wrong with a bit of Eminem. I think I'm a bit past my Eminem phase personally, but still like that song a lot. Okay, so I was just touching before on how the war, obviously World War II, was affecting Hollywood budgets in the 1940s. So this limited choices with production design and technology innovation. So in the 40s, we did see a lot less major landmarks than like the 20s and 30s. But that's not to say that the 1940s were not revolutionary. Like I said before, they did introduce a lot more personal character pieces rather than focusing on the plot-driven narratives of the 20s and 30s. And like I said, we could see these in a lot of films, like Casablanca, It's a Wonderful Life, Citizen Kane, Bicycle Thieves, The Red Shoes, Double Indemnity, I think it is. Yep. And obviously just a range of classic films from the 1940s. But the studio system was still in full effect. So that studio system that we saw be dominated by the 5 major studios. Do you remember what those were, Seth? Touched on them a bit in the last episode. A little test here.
Oh dear, I know it was 20th century.
That is one. Yep.
Dear, I can't remember those. I know. Yeah, 20th century was the one that like comes right to mind. I don't remember many of the others though.
Do you want me to tell you?
I could probably try and remember. Check our nose. Yeah, no, I don't remember too well.
Okay, so we've got
I was like
Paramount
Disney for some
Pictures,
reason.
Warner Brothers, MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, and RKO Radio. And
Yeah,
then
man, I forgot.
Disney Fox.
Forgot. What's it called? Warner Brothers. Some of it. And what about that one?
Oh yes, Warner Brothers. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's in my
the
mind.
main
I should know that too.
one.
You touched on the war before as well, didn't?
Did.
What was it? Sound of Music. Didn't they have Nazis at some point?
What was that?
The Sound of Music. Didn't they have Nazis in it? At
They
some point?
did.
Do you know? I thought the film ended like in the middle where they get married, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then I'm like, oh, that was a nice film. I turned to my mum. I'm like, all right, so I'll go to bed now because it was like 11ish. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna head to bed. She's like, the Nazis haven't even come in yet. I'm like, what?
I mean, yeah, if you're watching that at a young age, which I imagine a lot of people did, I think the Nazis. I doubt you really grasp the concept of the Nazis too much, but yeah, they were prominent. But that's a 1960s film, so we might touch on that a bit more later on. But so yeah, the studio system was still in full effect. Big, basically, label companies were driving the pictures, hiring, using like big names to promote films as well. What was that? Okay.
My fault.
Due to this, film still had to be very censored to avoid images of sex or nudity, drug use, as well as criticism of religion or cultures. because again, this is during the war where the world was obviously divided. Pretty bold take there, but yeah, the world was pretty divided in World War II.
Divided,
So-
really? Never would have guessed.
So yeah, obviously depictions of Europeans, because obviously films are mostly produced in America and Hollywood. So depictions of Europeans and Japanese were heavily censored to avoid. I'm guessing just to avoid like bringing the war into something that could be used to take people, like distract people from the war, I'm assuming. But yeah. In 1942, the Bureau of Motion Pictures was created to contain how war was depicted in film, so they're not over-exaggerating war or its enemies, because films were obviously an extremely influential medium to how people viewed other cultures. That's why they were censored. And so the Bureau of Motion Pictures in 1942 was created to not promote any I don't know, stereotypes or any sort of bigotry towards any cultures, despite the fact that they were in a war. And also not to glamorize the concept of war, because there's a film I want to touch on a bit, actually, called Hell's Angels, which I literally only finished last night, but it's a criminally underage film. It's from 1930. It's about three friends who basically is set at World War II. Oh, no, World War I, apologies. But it doesn't really depict war as what we see war as now. It's very much depicted as like a fun time with your mates, even though there are some anti-war themes that we can see in the film. But yeah, because films like that were being made in the 1930s, the promotion, I suppose, of the glamorization of war was pretty popular. So again, the Bureau of Motion Pictures was created to not I guess, underestimate war and its powers. Do you have anything to touch on there, Seth?
Not really, but I feel like after that heavy topic, I think it's good time to have a little bit of a game, if
Okay,
you're all done with
okay,
that
I
one.
wasn't expecting this, but look at me.
So we've got 3 films,
Okay,
and you can get 3 points, 2 points, or 1 point,
okay,
depending on where you answer when I give you these clues.
okay,
The first one is a 40s film.
okay.
These directors made a brilliant, unconventional choice with a cinematography scenes in Earth's early reality, scenes set in Earth's reality, shot in vibrant Technicolor, but the scenes are set in the afterlife, and the scenes set entirely in the afterlife are black and white.
Got no idea.
The plot kicks off when a British World War II bomber pilot miraculously survives bailing out of his burning plane with a parachute, all because the conductor sent to collect his soul got lost in the heavy English fog.
Oh,
2 points for this one if you get it.
it's ringing a bell. I don't think I've seen it, but it sounds like a pretty famous plot.
Do you want to go for the 1 point?
Yeah, give me the 1 point clue. This isn't good.
Because of the heavenly clerical error, the pilot falls in love and demands to stay alive, forcing him to argue his case with the massive celestial courtroom. It was directed by the legendary duo Powell and Pressburger.
Okay, yeah, that lost me. I think I was close to getting it with the 2 point clue.
A Matter of Life and Death, 1946.
I know a couple of friends who like that film. I have not seen
Yeah.
it personally, but yeah, it does sound.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't, but I could have probably got in there if I think thought a bit hard enough. But oh well.
It is what it is.
We'll keep pushing forward.
I've got another 2 here if you want to do them.
Oh, okay. About 1940s as well? Or-
This is 1950s. This
oh,
one.
do you want to save that for when we touch on 1950s then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just when you finish this one up, we'll jump into some music.
Okay, so we've got a couple more points on the 1940s here. 1941, Citizen Kane revolutionized filming and sound techniques with a rather out-of-order script and brand new uses of shadows to push narrative and an independent feeling. So this is the first instance in my mind of a camera being used almost as a character. The camera and lighting and cinematography pushes the narrative, adds to the mystery of the film. shows where characters stand on certain topics, and obviously just looks stunning. Citizen Kane is obviously Citizen Kane. Everyone's heard of Citizen Kane. It's not one of my favorite films ever, but I've seen it a couple times now, and it's obviously amazing. But yeah, that is probably possibly the most important film ever made, because if it wasn't for that, I believe films could still be in that. Maybe not still, but they might be still more recently built around just how static the camera was used in the 1930s and everything. But films in the 40s were often pushed around the narrative of the American dream. So pushing that idea of, because of the obviously character-driven films, the idea of having a loving wife and kids in a rich home was really portrayed, and this also added to motivation to win the war. So obviously America wasn't conquered by, like, I don't know, fascism, whatever. And then more aspects were discovered to help push a narrative, such as camera positions, lighting, sound, and editing. And this gave films more distinct and personal feelings, whereas before they felt much more studio-made and like anyone could have done it. So this was obviously seen in Citizen Kane, but then obviously that pushed those ideas forward a lot. I see it in the next years in Casablanca, obviously. I believe the 1946, was it? 1948, The Red Shoes is another example of this. We saw Hitchcock break into the scene with Rope and Bicycle Thieves, and just classic films that were that used these ideas that Citizen Kane introduced. And I mean, yeah, I think that is everything we've got in the 1940s. I mean, we do have to rush through this episode quite a bit because we've got 3 decades to cover, but I mean, yeah, that's what we've got in the 1940s. I believe we'll go into another music and ad break too before we go into the 1950s. But do you have anything to add on any of these points, Seth?
Not really. Well, as you said, we are going to move into some music, and we are going to kick off with a well-known artist from the 40s, and then we're going to transition into a nice 50s music. So we are starting off with Frank Sinatra's My Way.
Take it away.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Yes, it was my way.
Alrighty, and Frank Sinatra rounding out the 1940s.
Thank you for that, Seth. Solid music selection so far. All the music
Don't trust that for now.
choices you can credit to him. I might take over in the next episode because don't want to say, but I think I've got a bit of better music taste than you. But that's a discussion for another
I
day.
mean, hey, for the 40s and 50s, I think I got some more music taste.
That's fair enough. Actually.
I listen to 40s and 50s music.
Okay, so do we have another quiz to set this off, or?
Well, we'll start off with the 1950s. Guess the film because
okay.
it's fun.
Hopefully, I can do better.
All right, 1950s.
I don't think I've seen as many 50s films as I have 40s though, so we'll see how we go. But
Yeah, no, that's
should be
that's fair.
should be solid.
Yeah, alrighty. 1950s.
Okay.
All right, 3 points. This film was such a massive critical and commercial failure when it was released that the director, who was actually a very famous Oscar-winning actor, never directed another movie for the rest of his life.
I could get it off this. I'm positive.
It's a Southern Gothic
The Night
thriller.
Hunter.
Well done. 3 points to the
Is it
board.
actually?
Yep.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay, I do have a list of the most famous 50s films in front of me, but I knew that was
Yeah, well done.
a box office crash as well as the director's only film, but
Well, I suppose we should give him a round of applause. Never mind.
soundboard isn't working.
The soundboard is
too
not
well.
working the way we want
Okay.
it.
Well, thank you for that, Seth. Redeemed myself in their 40s.
Kidding.
There, but
Yeah. Ooh, I think
Um,
it's the 60s.
bringing us into the 50s now. So the censorship that we saw with the 1940s was still in heavy effect. Obviously, the war was over, but studios didn't want the risk of having nudity, drug use, or too much violence in the films, and just to risk driving away audiences. However, Technicolor did come back in full effect, with black and white films now being the outlier in the box office. So the majority of the films that we remember the 50s for was in Technicolor. So we see this in obviously Singing in the Rain, which is, I would probably say, is my favorite film from the 50s.
Absolutely amazing film. I love
yeah,
it so much.
honestly. I mean, either that or Rear Window, but that was also in Technicolor.
Oh yeah,
A bunch
Rear
of
Window was really
Hitchcock
good.
films. Yeah, Technicolor was still massive. If we go over to foreign cinema, which I don't really want to mention too much, but that was still a majority in black and white. This is where Kurosawa really made his best films, in my opinion. The Seven Samurai, Ikaru, Rashomon, but yeah, we'll focus on American cinema. in this show.
American.
Cinematic widescreen with CinemaScope and Cinerama, which set the blueprint for aspect ratio going forward. So, Seth, have you seen a film from the 20s, 30s, or 40s? You would have noticed that the film was often in this boxed shape, not too much of the widescreen that we see today. You know that, obviously.
Well, yeah, I know they're all kind of like boxy, and because they were shot in like really old cameras.
4:3, I believe the aspect ratio is. Don't quote me on that,
4:3. Yeah. As a photographer, I know that one.
Yeah.
4:3. The aspect ratio would have been. I can't, off the top of my head, remember any.
I mean, it's just basically every film from that era, is it not?
Nosferatu, I think would probably be. Was that Nosferatu? That's 30s, isn't it?
That was 20s, wasn't it? But
Yeah, Nosferatu. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, yeah. The companies like CinemaScope and Cinerama provided film reels, I believe. I think it was tape. It could be projectors, but I believe it was tape that could... Oh, yeah, it would definitely tape, actually, because you'd have to film on that aspect ratio instead of just project it. But, yeah, they became the blueprint and really created cinema as this immersive, landscape-esque medium. And obviously revolutionized how we view films today. Many of the stars from the 1950s, from the prior decades. Oh, no, sorry, let me start again there, sorry. Many of the stars from the prior decades were fading as young new leads took center stage and became the face of the anti-establishment rebellious era. So the 50s was obviously post-war, but the youth movement, this was a bit before counterculture. I think counterculture was around 1960s, but the 1950s had the sort of young post-war American freedom, despite the censorship, because Hollywood was mostly run by people who were older in age at that time, but the independent revolution was obviously imminent, and those stars included the Marlon Brando, obviously famous for obviously The Godfather, which was the 70s, but I mean definitely got his breakthrough in the 50s with On the Waterfront, I believe. That's like his big one from this decade. And then James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause, tragically killed, I think maybe age 26 in a car crash. Probably one of the most famous celebrity deaths of all time. But yeah, he was a massive star in the 50s. And then obviously Marilyn Monroe. Again, obviously household name, still decades later. Do you know any Monroe films, Seth, off the top of your head?
Well, no, but I know one really cool thing. The famous red lipstick that she wore, do you know it was actually orange?
I don't know.
Yeah, the lipstick, someone got their hand on it, and it turned out that it was actually orange.
Oh, right.
And because of how technical it worked back in the day, it made it look very, very red. Pretty
I
cool.
genuinely did not know that.
Yeah, can I get a round of applause for that one?
The sample still not working.
No, it's working.
Oh, okay. It's not coming through on the headphones, but whoa, clearly it's working. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, classic Marilyn Monroe films included Some Like a Hot Gentleman, Prefer Blondes, all those big ones. All About Eve. Was she in All About Eve? I don't think she was. Yeah, she wasn't. But still had that like Marilyn Monroe sort of aesthetic to it. But yeah. So those stars obviously sort of brought in the new wave of the new way of cinema being portrayed as this young rebellious art form, sort of like how rock and roll music was. The Hollywood blacklist was a thing that happened. It was a series of firings and blacklistings of many major writers, directors, and actors and producers due to paranoia over ties to the Communist Soviet Union Party. And so obviously tensions between the US and the Soviet Union were obviously peaking, with many Hollywood stars being thought to have been tied to the party or feeding information that could benefit the Soviet Union, because this is obviously Cold War time. So tensions were extremely high, and obviously with Hollywood being such an influential medium, it was something to take note of, and there was a big blacklist going on at the time. Again, I don't really want to touch on international cinema too much, but it's worth mentioning that the French and Italian New Wave was in full force. Some of my favorite eras for film. So obviously this brought in the 400 Blows with Jean-Luc Godard and oh my God, what's his name? The Italian, who made 8 and a Half.
Oh my God, what's his name? That's a very, very fun producer name. Was a producer, director, rather. Director or actor? Sorry?
Who made 8 and a Half?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh my God.
Well, while we figure this out.
Hold on. No, I've got it.
Oh,
Federico Fellini. Oh my
8 and a
God,
half.
that's
I have
embarrassing.
seen that.
You have
Was
seen
that
it?
the one that was like hand colored?
No. This was international cinema, so it was still pretty black and white, but
There was one that was like colored in frame by frame, which I really want to watch.
oh
I don't know what
yes.
it's called.
There is a film. I know what you're talking about. My
Mhm.
mind's gone blank though. But yeah, my mind isn't full force. My
Yeah.
knowledge today. Federico Fellini, that's embarrassing. That's a
Federico-
poor performance from me.
My goodness.
But yes, those were obviously in full force, and then later on down the line, with I don't want to give any too many spoilers, but with the 70s, you saw the new Hollywood movement, and this was probably influenced heavily by the movements in the 50s and 60s in France and Italy. Jean-Luc Godard, the
I know
hold
the
on,
film
hold
you're
on,
trying
hold
to find. Umbrellas of
Jacques
Cherbourg.
Demy and Jacques Tati, obviously.
Sorry, what were their names?
Jacques Demy.
Jacques Demy and Jacques
Jacques-
Tati.
Yeah, Jacques Demy and Jacques Tati.
That's some
French
very
New
fun
Wave,
names.
revolutionists, obviously masterpiece of films. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, Young Girls of Rochefort, Donkey Skin, and Playtime, just to name a few from that duo. Not a duo, not an official duo, but pretty clumped together because of their similar style. But yeah, so I think those movements were extremely worth noticing because they obviously made its way to America in a couple of later decades. And with the rise of these new stars, such as the Brando, Dean, and Monroe that we mentioned earlier, the traditional studio system began to crumble, with independent producers and studios taking over. So this led into the censorship that was mentioned earlier that sort of began to fade as we saw cinema be used to create more realistic tales, and the American dream theme that we saw in the 40s began to fade a bit more. And yeah, this decade was really the start of a new era, an era that broke traditions and set boundaries that no previous decade dared to do. I mean, yeah, obviously I would say this is more clear in the 60s and 70s, and then I guess 90s as well. But the 50s was obviously an incredible year or incredible decade, sorry, to be fascinated with film because the norms, the traditions were being broken. It wasn't too much of a new medium anymore. It had been around for a solid 30 years, 30, 40 years at this point. So people began to break out of their what they knew and what they felt comfortable with making films. And the top genres of this year, or the decades, apologies, was these high production epics. So like the Lawrence of Arabia's, I believe that was I think that was 60s, but could have been 50s as well. Hold up. Yeah, that was 60s. But I mean, the Seven Samurai and all of these war epics were made in the 50s. Spartacus as well. Wait, no, that's another 60s one. It's rough today, but
Your brain not working
musicals
out
as
easily.
well. Again, I think this was more seen in the 60s. I think the 60s personally was just an extension of the 50s, but still, 50s is a extremely powerful decade. Notable films include Singing in the Rain, The Searchers, Sunset Boulevard, and The Ten Commandments. These sort of are the films that we've selected that really cover all the bases of what the 50s were remembered for. So the musicals, the Technicolor musicals in Singing in the Rain, the sort of independent, violent, The Searchers, and then the sort of continuing on the themes of the 40s with the American Dream and everything around there with Sunset Boulevard, and then the Ten Commandments, a big Technicolor 4-hour plus biblical epic. And then I think to summarize the decade, we could really say it was there was a new rebellious aesthetic that really came along with the decade. However, like I said, I think the 60s and 70s were more prominent with this theme and topic. So the films that were popular, or the type of films that were popular in the 30s and 40s, were still booming and still had their market. But that was a long piece from me about the 50s. Not too much to go off of, to be honest, because again, the 60s was, in my opinion, just a bit of an extension of everything that we saw in the 50s. But do you have anything to say, Seth, or do you want to transition us into another musical and ad break?
I do, in fact, have something to say. I want us to both summarize this decade in one word.
Okay.
What's your word?
I'd say this could go for some other decades a bit more suitable, but I'd say revolutionary.
I'd say like influential.
Yeah, sort of same thing.
We kind of have that same idea how it was a very big, beautiful decade and everything kind of went hand in hand with each other.
It was. I mean, just see it in the stars. I mean, you know, James Dean was a pretty attractive man. I don't swing that way myself, but you know, you can't deny it.
Alrighty, and with that, we are gonna keep Seth quiet, and we are gonna transition into our next song, which is, as we've said many a times, one of the greatest films from this decade, Singing in the Rain. And the song is the namesake of the film. This song is the namesake of the film, Singing in the Rain by Gene Kelly.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above, and the sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain, dancing in the rain. I'm happy again. I'm singing and dancing in the rain.
singing in the rain.
Singing in the Rain, bringing us back into our podcast. Well, hey. Well, we are back and we are ready to spout some facts about the 1960s. This is probably one of the bigger decades.
Notes jotted down.
Yeah. This and the 80s will probably be like the two big ones.
I'd argue this in
Oh,
the 70s, actually.
Well,
but
that one maybe 90s as well, because
yeah,
90s had a
90s
lot of
was
big
one,
films.
but,
Fight
focus
Club.
on 60s for today. Do you have another game to bring us into what we could be talking about here?
I do, in fact, have a game.
Awesome.
Take a guess at what it is, Seth Halls.
Is it another Guess the Film or?
Oh, you'd be so correct. It is Guess the Film, my friend. It is.
Oh,
In
thank
fact,
you,
Guess the
thank you,
Film. Alrighty. All right, this is 1960s,
Yep.
and it is the 3 points.
Okay.
Directed by John Frankenheimer. Ooh, that's a fun name. This paranoid thriller features incredibly disorienting, disordered cinematography by James Wong Howe, or Ho, or whatever, who actually strapped a camera directly to the lead actor to capture his drunken panic at the disturbing wine festival. Festival.
It's familiar. Okay, I haven't seen it, but it sounds like something that would be in it. Is it Midnight Cowboy?
It is not Midnight
Okay.
Cowboy.
That's my first guess. Give me the 2-pointer.
Sadly, yeah, no, it's not Midnight Cowboy.
Okay.
Alrighty, 2 points.
Okay, yeah.
This plot follows a depressed, middle-aged banker who pays a shadowy, underground organization known as The Company to fake his death and surgically alter his body to give him a completely new identity and life.
Okay, I definitely haven't seen this film because it does. I would remember it,
Mm-hmm.
but is it an American film? Can you give me that?
I believe. I will double check for you because I'm not
Okay.
too sure myself. Yes, it is.
It is. Okay.
A neo noir 1960s film.
Oh.
Neo noir. That's a fun word.
Okay. I'm not gonna get it. Give me the final one.
All right, the 1 point. The big twist in the movie was a casting famous clean-cut Hollywood heartthrob entirely against type. Rock Hudson plays the new face of the banker who finds out his new bohemian lifestyle in Malibu is just as hollow as his old one.
I don't think I'm gonna get it.
No, you don't get a round of applause then, Seth Balls.
Wait, The Apartment.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I will give you one more.
Oh, okay, one more.
Hold on. Let's see if I can give you anything else.
Is it a James? It's not a James Bond film, is it?
It's not a Bond film, no. It is well known as the Citizen Kane of sci-fi.
Oh, what?
It's a chilling critique of the American dream.
Oh, okay. I'm actually clueless. Just going off the sci-fi one. I don't know.
Do you want me to give a phrase that shares the name with this film?
Okay.
This will give you half a point.
Okay.
You've had your first serving, and you go out for what?
Wait, repeat that.
You finished your first serving of food, and you go out for what?
Yeah, I think I'm lost. Just tell me.
Are we joking? Seconds.
What is it?
Seconds.
No, but what?
Seconds is the film name.
Oh, I thought there was another clue. Yeah, I've never heard of that actually. Yeah, I was not going to get that, but it sounds interesting for sure. I might have to check that one out. But
That's our next one. That's our next on the watch list.
yes, actually, could be.
Maybe.
But, okay, so if we want to introduce the 60s, I think there was a very clear split between the first half and the second half of the decade. I think the first half was much an extension of the 1950s. There's not really much we could say that we didn't cover in the 1950s. I mean, it was filled with all the high budget epics, with The Sound of Music, Lawrence of Arabia, a lot of musicals, and these kind of films were the big Oscar winners at the time.
Yeah, I think musicals came really into play in this kind of
They
decade.
did.
This is when it was like very big.
It
Because
did.
it was like sound is getting better, colors getting better.
I think
Let's
it was
have
really
fun.
where there's not really much more to do to like.
Yeah. You couldn't really build
Yeah.
upon what had already been made.
Yeah, that's true.
That was kind of
So I think I'm like the only way up was to revolutionize the not just the technology, but the plots and how films were and what was in the films themselves. But we can get to that a bit later on. But yeah, these high budget epics were made in order to compete with television, as television, live broadcast, TV shows. These were what audiences were turning to before the cinema because they were cheaper to not only make but also watch. So that's why going to the cinema had to be an event. You know, had to be something new, had to be something bold, had to be daring. That's why all of these films were the big popular ones that we remember.
It's a lot different today when you go to the cinema. It's kind of like, oh yeah, let's go spend $4 billion on popcorn,
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, that's nice, yes. Yeah, let's spend $5,000 on a drink and tickets.
I know.
But then back in the day, that was like it was a big event. But
It
now,
was. It was.
at the click of my hand, I can go and I can type in Netflix and I can have all of those 60s films at
Yeah,
my
exactly.
fingertips. But back in the day, they didn't have that. They couldn't go, oh, yes, let me go to Film Reel and get a film reel to watch it on my film reel.
Yes, I know.
Do that.
But yeah, these were the films that were praised at the Academy Awards and had big star names to drive the marketing, as well as the technology that was sort of used a lot in the 50s with Technicolor and widescreen. These are really what the films were built upon, as well as those like long run times, high production value. But yeah, films like that would fit into that would be Spartacus, Lawrence of Arabia, and The Sound of Music. I haven't seen Spartacus yet, but it is a Stanley Kubrick film, and I love me some Kubrick, so might have to check that one out.
Stanley Kubrick.
But
That was a reference, guys.
yeah. So in 1965, there was a major shift, however, likely caused by the assassination of JFK, opposition to the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement, the feminist movements, and the previously seen anti-establishment vibe of music and film from the 50s. The Cold War and young people growing tired of the conformism and of the post-World War II America. So it's hard to kind of like overstate, I suppose, how revolutionary this was. I mean, obviously we saw it in music. I mean, you've got to bring up the Beatles and the British invasion bands. Those sort of, I would say, sort of popularized the movement of young people really coming into their own and experimenting. Obviously, drug culture started to begin around this time with psychedelics like LSD. And this obviously had its influence in cinema, as well as the government and political issues at the time with what we've just mentioned. So yeah, the new wave vibe of the 50s really came full effect into the 60s. And in 1967, this is another major landmark. The MPAA, the Motion Pictures Association of America, changed the rating system into what we know today. So this allowed for a more desensitizing and ushering in much more violence and sexual expression in film. So we touch more on this in the 1970s because I think that's where that rule sort of really showed itself. But yeah, the 60s was like the start of this shift. And obviously the hippie movement was a major one. We haven't done this in a while, actually. We talked about this in the 20s and 30s, but do you know of the big story of the 60s in Hollywood, at least? This is what I would consider it, at least.
The big story, that is a great question. For the 1960s, off the top of my head, I think it's just kind of being you, coming into you. That's kind of like the overarching theme that I found. But the big story, that's a great question. There are quite a few films that are very showing of that. Like, yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when that came out and kind of showed
That was that was 2019, but
it was set in the 60s.
yeah, it was. That's sort of the hint I was giving you to for what the big story was.
Mm.
Do you want to just break the ice now?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Charles Manson movement, or, I should say movement, the cult was probably the biggest thing in Hollywood. Obviously, sort of reached a boiling point with the murder of the film star Sharon Tate in her own home, the wife of Roman Polanski, a very famous director at the time. And obviously that was due to the movement. Obviously, Charles Manson was a cult leader, but he used psychedelics and the whole new hippie movement, like anti-government, anarchist, or not anti-anarchist,
Yeah, like the,
anarchist.
Being anachronistic and kind of getting away from that whole the government it's there.
So he obviously got a lot of young people and committed those atrocities, and there's a couple other murders aside from the Sharon Tate ones. I highly recommend
There's a few
going
documentaries
to
on
this.
it.
But
Pretty sure there's what's his name? Charles
Manson.
Manson. I can't spell.
But I
There's a
mean,
few documentaries. I feel like I've watched one.
yeah, obviously that was a massive event that shook the industry.
Yeah, there's quite a few on Netflix. There's the Manson murders, the final words, Manson and Manson.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oscar-nominated documentary from the 70s. I'm supposed
Yeah.
to touch on that one.
I mean,
But yeah, Manson. Oh God, actually insane. I've read into some of like the police files that were released, and it's really interesting to read.
it is. I mean, it's hard to imagine it now, but back then, something that would shake the industry, because obviously in the 20s and 30s there were the big Hollywood parties. There were a couple scandals, but like obviously it was pretty contained to the industry. And back then, especially with the 40s, and you could still see it in the 50s. Hot movie stars were seen as perfect. Hollywood was seen as the dream. Everyone wanted to be a movie star. Everyone wanted to be in the film industry. And then that happened. And now the film industry is sort of how we see it more today. I don't want to blame it entirely on that event. But, I mean, obviously in Hollywood, we see scandals come out of it every day. People are being weird. People are being shady in Hollywood. But I think that, and obviously it was always there, but I think that the Charles Manson case was probably really brought it up to the limelight. But if we want to move away from that, and the desire for a new system meant the traditional Hollywood studio system was done for, and independent filmmakers now ruled over. And we could see this in the introduction of like characters like the movie brats, which was, do you know those, Seth?
Oh, I've watched your video on it.
I didn't make a video on this.
Yeah,
Like
we
about a
meant the
year ago,
modern
but
day one, but I feel like it was Kubrick.
Kubrick was not one.
Was Kubrick not a brand?
No, he was not.
Hold on. I need to.
I mean, we need to wrap up soon, so I'll just give you the names. It was George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese,
Spielberg,
Steven
that's awesome,
Spielberg. Obviously, important filmmaker. Oh, and Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
But incredibly influential filmmakers. They utilized this shift in the best way they possibly could have. And we obviously saw them all blow up in the 70s, but they got this out into the 60s. And then in 1970, Midnight Cowboy, a 1969 film, won Best Picture at the Oscars. This is revolutionary as a film about a male stripper with homosexual tendencies had won big. And I mean, yeah, obviously, I think that was really defined the shift. And yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to wrap up now because there's still a lot I feel like that could be said. We could touch a bit more on it in the next episode. But I mean, do you have anything to add onto the 60s? I mean, it's a massive decade for how film changed.
I think the 60s is just the 60s. That's all you can say it
Yeah,
is
it is.
because it's such a big, influential time.
It
I
is.
know I said that about the 50s too, but then the 60s is kind of more that you're coming into yourself. You're being you. You like you said that before, the Beatles, the young people, the drug culture, the Midnight Cowboy, all of that really coming into play and them actually winning all those awards. I think it's just
It really set in the shift of culture, counterculture, and in the 70s we see this even more. But yes, that will draw our episode to a close. Thank you all for listening in. Hope you learned something today. Next episode will be the last episode. We'll be covering the 70s, 80s, and 90s. 1970s, 80s, and 90s, obviously.
and
And
that-
yes, I'm going to do a little outro now. I've been Seth Walls. I've been giving you the information, and my co-host here will wrap everything up.
I'm Seth Shipley. I'm the one behind the scenes playing all the music, getting all the games to go ahead. Thank you all for listening.
Adding your little opinion on things as well.
Got to be in there. I thank you all for listening. I enjoyed it. I really love being here and just sitting with my mate and chatting. And with that, the 60s was the finale of this episode. And with that, our final song will also be a finale of sorts. Thank you all for coming in. We will see y'all next time. And coming off with finale, an instrumental piece.